my dear Gemini. This is your love and spirituality reading for the month of January 2019 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. We are soon entering into Capricorn season when I'm launching this. So happy birthday all Capricorn, and also Merry Christmas to you all. Happy holidays for all of you celebrating something else, and also a happy new year. I read for the signs in the order of most liked videos, and you can see the order I read in this time around at the community section of my channel. And thank you all for liking, watching, commenting, donating, and subscribing to my channel. I'm so grateful for all of your appreciation. This is a general reading for Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. The reading can go both ways. The drama is the same, but it can be different castings to the different roles by the universe. And for this reading, I will use the Crystal Tarot by Elisabetta Trevisan, and I will start shuffling your cards. So, my dear Gemini, see what's going on with you here. So, when I open your deck, I see Queen of Pentacles together with the Empress. So, it seems like you, Gemini, has stepped into the feminine energy of the Divine Feminine, or you soon will. Queen of Pentacles can be a Virgo, Capricorn, or a Taurus person in your life, and the Empress is equally pointing towards Taurus and also Venus. But I'm thinking this is kind of the Earth energy, like the energy of Gaia, the mother that sustains us all. We are all born from a mother, and our mother is sustaining us with food, shelter, raw material, resources of different kind to keep us alive. Okay, and this, I'm feeling a lot of respect when I'm holding this, because this is what's coming, like the new respect back to nature, to the female, and to love as well. Okay, respect back to love, starting to respect love again, and not just taking it for granted or playing with it, and also respect to nature again, not just grabbing resources, and respect to women again, not just thinking, well, this is the weaker sex, we can do whatever we want, but actually stepping back into respect for life. And that means also salvation for future generations. If we think with every decision several generations ahead, then we do take care of this, our earth, and respecting the feminine energy. Okay, when we do something that's short-sighted and kind of just for us and going to be have negative impact for generations to come, that's not respecting the feminine energy. Okay, so I call the Divine with love and light, and here we have 4 of Cups together with 3, the Empress. So I'm feeling like the feminine energy here, both the earth and feminine overall, might have a situation at hand with the emotional state where it kind of have lost a little bit of hope. It's not because it doesn't love itself. It's more, where is the love? Okay, so that's probably a song for you. Where is the love? So that's what I'm feeling here with the, where is the love? And it's not whining or victimized. I'm rather feeling it's like an acceptance. I don't feel the love, or I can't find the love, or I don't have a counterpart to reflect my love towards. Okay, so that might be up to the Divine Masculine to step into that and show the love. Okay, and it doesn't mean that a female is waiting for a male to step up their game with love. It kind of means that the Divine Feminine can be the most prominent energy in both males and females. So it might be a guy here waiting for a girl to actually come back and show the love, and not just wander off on their own adventure is what I'm feeling. I don't know why this could be wrong to go on your own adventure, but I guess we will see with going on with this. But this is definitely someone being like fed up with something. It's not overwhelming. It's not tragic. There's not a victim feeling with this. It's more like something, we are tired of something. We have eaten the same kind of food for a while, and we get tired of it, and we don't want more of it, so we're fed up with it. And it's not bitterness, it's just, I'm done. Okay. So, I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world. And we see here 9 of swords with the 4 of cups. So here it gets a little bit more serious. 9 of swords is when we are loaded with a lot of thoughts about things. So of course this kind of energy, I'm feeling that there's a shift because it's the 4, so it's connected with the divine masculine, and it seems like the divine feminine has taken in the energy of the divine masculine, maybe not caring for love that much because there doesn't seem to be any love. 9 of swords. So something is going on here where people are starting to wake up to the fact that love needs to be shown, okay? It not just talked about, it needs to be recognized. People need to show with action that they respect nature, their mother, their own feminine side, their emotional side, okay? So I don't know, I just read the cards here. So I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view read energy, clear view reading for my dear Gemini viewers. So I want my dear Geminis to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. Okay, so it's done there. We will see more what's going on. It's very hard sometimes to decipher what the meaning is, but I see sometimes when I watch other people's readings and I see how they are desperate like I am at this point, and they have already said all the things I needed to hear. So I'm just going to trust whatever comes here. So now I'm tuning into you, Gemini, and the energy of January. Okay. So my dear Gemini, this is your future there. And this is the now, and this is your past. And in the past, we have a Queen of Cups. So Queen of Cups can be Cancer energy, Scorpio, or Pisces. Doesn't have to be that. It's just showing a person that is in contact with their emotional side. They have no problem with showing empathy, love, consideration. They can walk a mile in another person's shoes. They kind of know how another person is feeling, so they can put themselves in their place and feel with them. So that's empathy. It's also a person being very connected with their intuition. And here with the Queen of Chalices, I feel kind of the same energy as with the 4 of Cups. It's like an energy that has been, if you have been the person, male or female, again, who has been giving in a relationship, and you're holding this loving energy. It's like you're holding a fire hose of love. It can be very exhausting if you are the only one that's holding and no one is helping you holding this energy. So it's like being a little bit overwhelmed by the love that you feel and maybe how little it has been met in the outside world. So it's a little bit, a tiny bit of, like we have spiced this a little bit with loneliness as well, is what I'm feeling. But there's a lot of self-respect here. So it's not running around making itself crazy. It's just like, this is how it is. And this is how I feel. But there's something that's off here. Okay. So this energy here knows that, yes, I've been doing everything in my power to show love. And yet, where is the love? Okay. And this is the now energy, and here we have the 8 of Pentacles. So this is someone that with strength, moderation, and a very grown-up attitude is trying to make new steps into an old cycle of life, an old pattern, and you try to do new things to spice up the game or to change the game, to get a more positive pattern instead of endless repetition of something that has been a little bit destructive. You're trying with your best intentions, your best like what you can do from your experience to fix this. So these 2 cards together make it even more mature and calm. So this is a person being very able to take care of themselves. So I'm thinking this is a person have been giving a lot of love, recognize that there's maybe a lack of love with the 4 of Cups and the 9 of Swords energy that I feel coming through. And with the 8 of Pentacles, the person isn't sweating about it. It's just, okay, so I guess we are working on changing this. I'm guessing we are working to make this better in the future. So it's no, I don't feel a lot of anxiety. I feel like a person is identifying a problem and slowly doing something about it, what they can do and what they are guided to do through their intuition. I hope this makes sense. I'm just feeling a feeling with the card. I'm trying to interpret what this feeling means. And sometimes the feeling can be out of place with the image I get. So then it's something new that I haven't seen before. And it's a little bit harder than to know what I am supposed to interpret. And here in the future we have a 5 of Wands. So it's showing that there's a conflict brewing. Okay, some kind of conflict is brewing. And maybe someone has been very nice before and is still very nice and considering and loyal and hardworking. But if they are not going to be met with respect or collaboration, there might be a conflict. So we say that this person here, the Queen of Cups, that's working so hard on fixing things and building and making things more and more harmonious, is not met by collaboration. They will probably put up a fight for this because they know, okay, something is wrong, and if you are not helping and actually working against this harmony, love and collaboration, you are a part of the problem. So I'm thinking there's a person here starting to shift and identifying where the problem really is. Since the Queen of Cups can see into other people's emotions, she can easily get lost. Okay, she can feel the pain of another person and have a lot of compassion for that, and therefore make a lot of excuses as well for a person's behavior. But I'm thinking this is something that's slowly changing, because the Queen of Cups here is identifying that this is not a doable way forward. So there's still love here, and still the person wants to work with harmony. But if they are giving all this love and are met with just someone not giving the love and not working together and not trying to be harmonious, but coming home maybe yelling, screaming, tossing their things around, or maybe at the workplace someone that's always spiteful, I'm thinking this person is going to do something about that. So that's kind of the bottom line with this. Okay. So this is your past, and we have a 3 of Cups. So that's a very beautiful situation where we love each other, and there's an overflowing sense of being in a situation that has context and meaning. We give and receive love, and it's very beautiful, and we are ready to sacrifice a lot for the people that we feel like this for. It's usually our romantic partner, our siblings, our parents, and most of all our children. So this is it's like a family reunion where everyone is happy with the 3 of Cups. It's also connected again to Cancer energy. So a beautiful, beautiful situation with people with like mind, when we can come together and have, like, we see eye to eye, and we can kind of read each other's moods with and we see how a person's mood is changing, and we can follow within that because we are so in tune with each other. So we can say, hey, what's up? What's going on with you? And the person says, well, I was sad because I got this call. And so it's like a vulnerability and openness between people that makes them being able to be very in tune with each other. And here we have 6 of coins. So 6 of coins is also very beautiful. It's connected to the Lover's card, and it's the manifested part of love. So when you cook a meal for someone, or you wash their clothes, or you drive them somewhere, maybe picking them up from the airport, for example, or taking your children to school. So it's these kind of things that we do for each other: buy presents, give money. So these kind of things. Sometimes the 6 of Pentacles is pointing towards an issue where people might be giving too much and therefore becoming enhanced in their sense of self. If we are a parent and we kind of give a lot of money to our children, we might feel like a really, really good parent, but actually we're spoiling our children. So sometimes we are making, since we are good on making money and giving them away, we make other people not being able to make money and take care of themselves. So we make them into whiny babies. So it always needs to be a little bit of balance with this. For example, if we are a parent and giving money to our children, we also want them to show progress, maybe in the school, or learning how to launder their own clothes, or pick up things in their room, or whatever. So we are giving and we are learning in the same time. We are giving and giving a lesson in the same time. So it's about not giving people fish, but teaching them how to fish, kind of this. But it's still very beautiful, very harmonious, like a family sense, where people are really taking care of each other and wants what's best for each other, or at least the Queen of Cups wants what's best for people. Okay, I haven't seen any other person just yet. And here we have the 7 of Swords. So that's a little bit another energy. What I'm feeling here is a person that feels that love, maybe love especially, but what I wanted to say was life is a little bit of a battlefield. And that the one that's the smartest will come out of this with most benefit. So imagine that there's a parent giving a lot of money to their children, and there's one child that kind of sees the opportunity to see to that they get more money than the other children. So, for example, telling their parents, well, you gave this to this other person and I didn't get any, even though they did, and getting more money. And also maybe conquering out their children. So it's the cuckoo in the cuckoo's, not the cuckoo's nest. I'm thinking there's a bird, and in Sweden I'm thinking it's the cuckoo. Okay, I'm not sure, but they are putting their eggs in other birds' nests. Like sweet birds, like the Queen of Chalices here, and they let her take care of their babies. So it's like this energy I'm feeling here. So there's a little bit disruptive energy. I don't know where it comes from, but I'm thinking it's not a bad person per se. It's a very smart person thinking ahead, planning ahead. Maybe it's a survival mechanism that's pushing through here. Maybe a person has been living in poverty for many lifetimes, and now when they finally have some kind of abundance or someone taking care of them, they are using that to their benefit, and maybe not really how can I explain this feeling? Maybe not really sacrificing back something, but actually just like take. It's a little bit like Western civilization. Most civilization that have lived a long times on Earth being sustainable, they have give something and taken something back, like sacrifice something and taking something back. For example, with hard work, for example, putting a lot of manure on the fields from the cows, and that's hard work. You need to pick up all the manure from the cows and putting on the field. It's hard work. But in Western civilization, we take its minerals and we put it on this fertilizer that's kind of manufactured, and we put it on the field. So the field isn't really getting the nourish that is in the manure from the cow. It's just getting like two different chemicals. We can say chemicals. I know it's not the right term, but I'm struggling sometimes a little bit with the language. And they are getting out a lot of energy from the soil because of that, putting into and getting back like 50 different minerals. So eventually the farmland in Western civilization are starting to be deprived of their nutrients. So we can say that people now that live now have less nutrient in their food than what we had during the Second World War. Okay, tomatoes isn't as nutritious. Potato isn't as nutritious because our soil has been defertilized, because we not do this work with taking the manure and putting on the field. So this is kind of the thing. And why it comes, it's because of a lot of mind activity going on, solving a lot of problems, but maybe not being able to see the consequences. And maybe the consequences for others, for generations to come, or for the siblings around them, like the cuckoo. Okay, so, okay, that was a lot coming from that little card, but kind of giving you a picture that the person isn't evil. It's like a person having a lot of ideas how to survive, but causing a lot of problems while doing this, for others mainly, okay, or for future generations. And here we have the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles here together with the Queen of Cups. This is the two very, very feminine queens. So this is the earth we are talking about again. So the Queen of Pentacles here might be the one that has the Seven of Swords kind of attitude. So if you are with someone that's an earth sign, maybe they're a little bit, they're doing this at this present moment, or they were, because for most of you, or maybe this will be in the past for you. It's the past, but for some of you watching in December, this might be in the now. But however, with the Queen of Pentacles, this is the earth. So I feel that it's someone that is doing this, but someone also that this has been done too, okay, if you can understand me. If you have a narcissist in front of you, they probably had narcissistic parents doing this towards them. If you have a person being very, planning and scheming for their own game, they might do so because they barely survived in another lifetime. So they needed to get smarter to survive. So I don't think it's a bad energy per se. And so it's like both the victim and the perpetrator in some way. Like a person that have become what they are because of their environment. If you had lived in their kind of circumstances, having their life experience from different lifetimes and this, you probably would have ended up the same. So it's no throwing rocks in the glass house. And here we have justice. So this is about karma. It's something karmic that wants to break free, wants to be balanced out and put into order. So if you have a person that you have the greatest love for, and you have given a lot of love to them, and it doesn't really seem to help, it might be a little bit of karma between you, where you kind of need to trigger the other person to solve their own issue by not maybe being codependent and helping them anymore. So that could be one thing. For example, instead of sometimes during my upbringing, I had friends that were great liars. Okay, they're really good at lying, but it was very entertaining, and they could tell stories about being wide and far, and how much things they had, like their family, how rich they were, and things like that. I thought I knew that it kind of wasn't true. It wasn't the truth, but I went along with their stories because I felt a lot of love for these people, and I love them for the way that they were, and I also were entertained by their stories. But for other people that met these same people, they were very upset with them, and they say, oh, they are such a liars, and they are saying this and this and this and this. And I'm learning now that maybe it would have been better if I could have said that I'm very amused by your story. I know it's not all true, so you might want to look at that, but you have a real beautiful imagination. Tell me more. Okay, so maybe something like that, to just point out that we see the truth. We don't have to be rude towards people. We don't have to break them down. If they are telling these pseudo lies, I'm thinking it's because they want to make themselves important and wants to be seen and wants to be loved. So there's a reason for why this person is doing this. They are not evil per se, but they might need you to tell them that you see what they are doing, okay, that you are not being fooled by this. Because there's someone here that wants to fool a person. It might be the Cancer wants to fool like a earth sign person, or the other way around. And it doesn't have to be earth and water. It's just showing different feminine qualities. One being a little bit more stubborn, a little bit more earthy, a little bit more practical, and one being maybe a little bit more, naive, blue-eyed, empathic, seeing things other people's way. So this is what I see here. I don't know how it resonates with you. Maybe you identify with one or the other, and you kind of know what's up. For the Seven of Swords personality, I will say you fool no one. Okay, everyone already knows. They are just being pitiful and also trying to help you overcome your problems by showing a lot of love. And for the one that deal with these kind of people, I'm so very grateful for the love that you have shown. But at this time, you need to start showing up the mirror. So if someone having a little bit of bad behavior, you need to call them on that in a grown-up way. So if you are the parent and you can say, well, I remember that I gave you the money, and here's also the receipt. I put it on your account, and you see you got the same as the others. So instead of cuddling with these people that we know that they are wounded, but they won't heal if we are codependent. Okay, so I hope that that was clear. Okay, and this is in the now, and here we have the Sun. So we have the Sun and Justice, and it comes on the Three of Cups. So it says truth is love. Okay, truth is love. That's real love. Instead of letting a person, they are telling you, they maybe are rude towards you, saying that, well, I know you have this problem with clothing because you are not as good as me with finding the right kind of dress, but I don't have that problem. So, they are rude, and you are just like, well, yeah, I know. Sure. So you don't want to, that this person is trying to enhance their own ego, and they are stealing a little bit of your energy, but you are the bigger person, so you kind of go along with it. But here you're not supposed to. You're kind of supposed to say, what is saying that you are better than me to choose out clothes? What is saying that your taste is greater than mine? And you kind of face that person and, go into the conflict a little bit instead of being so big and understanding. Because it's like people are getting a little bit behind because they are not getting the right kind of response. Okay, you're not giving them the accurate response towards their action. So therefore they kind of don't develop because people are acting so adult with them. So they are not mirrored back with their own shortcomings. Okay, and here the truth shall set you free. But first, as a friend of mine said, it will piss you off. So they probably heard it somewhere. So first it will make you sad, maybe sometimes when we need to recognize that a person doesn't really love us. They are just in it for the benefit of what they can get from us, like narcissistic behavior, for example. So then we need to see that, okay, this person doesn't love me. They are using me I have the best kind of feelings for them, but they are not capable of feeling anything towards me. So that kind of truth might make you sad, but in the end it will make you free, because you will be able to act on your reality in a very accurate way, instead of acting on an illusion where you think that this narcissistic person will be able to love you when they have no capacity because they are broken. As children they were broken, they got a narcissistic injury, or if a person is having a little bit of not the best self-esteem and trying to build it up by picking on you, picking on your clothes, picking on your house, picking on the things, and saying you are not as good as me. And then you start to, you don't let them lean onto you to get a false sense of self. So that truth might make them a little bit pissed off here, 5 of Wands, but in the end it will set them free, because you are not, codependently letting them live in their illusion. Okay, so that was very clear anyway. Okay, so the Sun card is the highest form of love. It's when we become whole. So when we don't just give abundantly and like adults, we also show people, the truth. So a spiritual person doesn't always have to be nice, taking care of, fixing animals with broken wings and things like that. Also needs to show this is what you can do to fix yourself. Teaching them how to fish instead of just giving them fish. Instead of giving them, letting them step on your self-esteem to get a false self-esteem, you teach them how to get a solid self-esteem. So I don't think you are better than me to choose out whatever clothes. We say clothes, it's easy. but I think that doesn't tell anything about your value of being like a person that's worthy of love. So we all have our different qualities, and there's different tastes. So if you are making clothes, for example, you will have a certain clientele that will love your clothes, and I will make my clothes and certain people will love them. It's diversity, and it's not saying that one is better than the other, and you're not winning anything by thinking that you are better than me. We're all equals, but we need to love ourselves and love our own expression. Okay, so here we have the Alchemist anyway, and our Alchemist is the second card for love in the major arcana. So we have the third, that's when two whole people kind of join in holy matrimony, and this is when two people that has a great shadow is coming together because they are attracted by the mirror that the other person holds, so they can see themselves. For example, if you're always falling in love with people that has a great sense of humor, and you think that your humor is like worthless, like a rock's humor, eventually you will learn, as time go by, you will develop this part of you that also have a great sense of humor. So it was just dormant, and you were seeing this in the other person, and it attracted you in, because this was a side of you that you needed to develop. So when we are falling in love, we are often falling in love in ourselves. So see what's good and bad with the person you fall in love with, and you will know what your shadow side is and what you need to develop. So if you're falling in love with someone that doesn't care, maybe you also need to stop caring a little bit and being a little bit more, give accurate feedback, being logic, so on. But here, what I'm seeing here is two people, one being whole and a little bit more whole, or like seeing things from an above perspective, like the sun, and another person has still some kind of work to be done on them at this point. So I'm thinking you're in a situation, because we have two twins here, it must look like Gemini. And so you might be in a situation where you are a little bit more advanced at this point, like at this section of what you are working on. The other person might be more skilled on logic, but you are more skilled on how to show love, for example. So you need to be the teacher in this situation. So, and this is Sagittarius, the Temperance card. Next card here in the middle is the Star card. So the divine wants this old wound here to heal. Like, this person doesn't have to be so smart and cunning to get ahead. Love should be enough, okay? To be a loving person, to love yourself, to come with your creative expression straight from God, should be enough. You don't have to plan and scheme and figure out and, to get ahead or to survive. So this is something that divine wants humanity to heal from, this sense of lack, that there's not enough, and that you need to steal from others to get by, okay? And how this is healed is by these two people being mixed together, okay? One kind of a person that can see this from an above perspective, and one person that has a problem in this section and needs to develop, and these two are being mixed together, and then humanity is more healed. For every kind of relationship like this, one by one, humanity is more healed. So all of you in different relationships, you are actually participating in this great spiritual work to heal the planet and humanity. So it's beautiful, okay? And here we have Judgment, and it comes underneath the Queen of Pentacles, and that's also flanked by Justice. Whatever karmic situation you are in, it's going to be resolved, okay? And the people or the group of people that has been either taking advantage of other people and the earth, or being taken advantage of, they are going to have to stand up to what they have done. So the victims need to not be victims anymore, but become their own hero. And the perpetrators need to kind of start to love themselves and turn back to source, instead of trying to engulf the planet and other people to fill their void, okay? So you're getting great help here from a divine point of view, with both the Star card, Judgment, Justice card, and we also see how your souls are working through you. So it's all hands on deck here. No one is like slacking or resting and dreaming through the day. Everyone is like deeply engulfed in this situation, and all energies are put together to make something happen and to heal something in a very, very profound way, okay? And here we have the Knight of Swords, and it comes underneath Justice. So Knight of Swords and Justice, it's like someone being the knight in shining armor here, to do the soul's work upon earth. So maybe you feel that it's your mission to tell people the truth, but be careful. Don't be judgmental. You are not better than these other people. It's just that you maybe know more about this particular subject, okay? So it's not about black and white, right or wrong. Both the victim is making the perpetrator able to be a perpetrator by being the victim, by not being strong enough. So this is something we need to develop, becoming strong enough to not become a victim. Perpetrators need to be able to, feed themselves and not, I need this and that and that and that and that and that from everyone to be happy, and I need to get it. I will steal, I will rob, I will manipulate, I will lie just so I get it. So they need to learn how to feed themselves from their own spiritual channel. So both have room for development. So no one is like better than the other person. But what I'm seeing here is you bringing justice to this situation. We have Gemini here and Gemini here. So it's like you're on a soul mission from God here. Very beautiful. And with the Eight of Pentacles, you're trying loyally to make this better, to make it's better for everyone, and a sustainable good future for all of us. Okay, so it's very beautiful. But for some of you cross watchers, this Gemini might be the help from hell, okay? So that's why you hear me being like I'm having second thoughts, or there's something else underneath the surface. So for some of your cross watchers, the most difficult person in your life is usually your greatest spiritual teacher. I don't have to say more than that, okay? So this is your future, and we have the Five of Wands and Five of Pentacles. So this needs to be dragged out in the open by open conflicts and openly showing, I don't think that you care. I don't feel that you have given enough, or it's maybe also the person with a lack of self-love that's coming out here, and maybe with a little bit of rage showing their inside. Maybe before they had a little bit of a mask on, trying to be nice and showing, nice sides to get to what they want. They just were nice, but with a twist. Like the mother that's coming home with gifts to you, but in the same time kind of picking on you because you haven't tend to your, I don't know, roses, okay? So what's this? Oh, it's not great. How could you have done this to these beautiful flowers? All these things are coming to surface and being scrutinized, like you're looking to a binocular or something, and looking very closely, or to a magnifying glass, and what's going on here. So it's being dragged out. All the dirt is being dragged out here, and what people feel. And I also see here that the Three of Cups and the 19, the Sun, is a very, very great love. And we might have sacrificed a lot for this great love. Also made ourselves into kind of a doormat here, giving a lot to be loved. So that might be, for some of you, needs to watch out for this. To not be overly giving. But here, if you have been overly giving, you will probably say, I feel that you are taking me for granted. Okay, so there will be no more giving. So that's kind of what I'm feeling with the Five of Pentacles there. And here we have the Tower. So with the beautiful Six of Pentacles, the beautiful Temperance card, that should be very passionate love. Very love that where we maybe have different languages of love. Some might be, giving a lot of money and don't understand small notes of love, like, what is this crap? Did you do down in the paper bin, or what's its name? Okay, dustbin maybe. Another person might be getting a lot of money, but don't understand this kind of language of love. Where is the small notes that needs to be written, so I know that I'm loved? So it can be that little bit of problem. But in other case, it seems like a very passionate love affair that's, had the best intentions. But here the Tower comes. So these cards together is very, very beautiful, but we saw that there's problems here. It's some kind of karma, where people haven't been able to feed themselves maybe in past lives, and have been very scared of their own survival. So they needed to pile up things almost like a squirrel. Now that needs to be done. So what's happening here is probably that the person that have been taking a lot of crap, not, being so darn hurt by it, by more this what I said, like you being the bigger person and just, I need to tolerate that my father-in-law has this kind of a demands on me that, for example, that, I need to play soccer with my children every Saturday, even though I'm not good at that, but in other case, I'm not a man or whatever. So it hasn't been like a big burden. Maybe you have been very burdened, but you have also been equally strong to carry this. Okay, to be able to carry this kind of load, like the person saying, well, you are not as good looking as me, so I understand that you don't know how to deal with this crowd with people that's always coming after me. So you have been like, oh, yeah, sure. But here with the Tower, even if it wasn't hurting you that bad, is kind of coming out, and it's disrupting the whole balance of this relationship. So it's not going to be balanced in the way it was before. It always finds balance, but sometimes it's lopsided kind of balance where one person needs to hold the other person underneath the arm because they can't hold up themselves. But here I'm thinking, I'm feeling someone is saying, well, that's not going to happen anymore. So this person that has been held up like this by strong arms from everywhere around, that has been, compensating for their shortcomings, they just drop them here. And it's a crude awakening to something that they thought was very loving. This person knew that, well, it's love, but it has its downside. And this person just felt like there was a lot of love here, and they probably didn't see their own look in the mirror because you didn't mirror this back to them, and now you do. So it's a crude awakening. Okay, and here's the devil. So the shadow comes out, and it's a good thing, you see, that this is being seen. It's healthy. The divine says it's very healthy. It will feel very bad for the person being shown this, and it can be also you, if you feel like you are the best parent ever, and finally your children just come one day here and say, well, you have been very crappy at this, and you need to just see it. Okay, you need to just accept it. Sometimes I need to add, children will come and say this, and it has not so much to do with the truth. And in this case, I actually recommend that we go along with it, because we don't want to cause narcissistic injury with people, with our children. So it's a passage in their development where they're going through their teenager, and they need to kind of say that the parents is the worst thing in the world, because in other case they won't be able to use their wings and fly away. If you always are right, if you are always perfect, if you have all the answer, how are they going to dare to leave you? So in these cases, you just need to, be that person you were before and just nod and say, yes, I'm the worst person ever. And you are so right, and I will better my ways, just to help the darn bird to lift and make their own life, being able to do so. But with that passage being said, for all others that's not teenager or small children, they are going to be able to see the truth here, or they're going to be faced with their shadow that they weren't able to see because no one was mirroring this to them. So much responsibility is on the people that never said anything, just played along here, and it's going to be problematic but very healthy. So this person is probably going to feel very confused, but we see here that's a shadow coming up from this beautiful, beautiful love here. So much was sacrificed to keep the image of this beautiful love. The beautiful love is still there. It's just that now this beautiful love is strong enough to also be able to carry the truth. Okay. This is also Capricorn, if someone is, and this is Aquarius. So some of you might be dealing with these kind of signs. And we have the Eight of Wands, showing that this flash of insight that's revealing someone's shadow is like God sent. It's very, very, very important that this happens. Okay, the truth will set you free again here with the Eight of Wands. Taking away misunderstandings, because this person might have a lot of misassumptions, both about themselves and of others. They might have been living, or maybe had that kind of upbringing where the parents didn't say that anything was wrong with them. Oh, you are the best. Oh, that picture was so beautiful. And kind of building them up. But they build them up like a helium balloon. So they don't have any like groundness. We see here with the Judgment and the Queen of Pentacles that you need to be able to love yourself and to be able to see the truth if you really are to love yourself. In other case, you're going to feel like something is missing all the time, and there's a big hole somewhere, and I feel all alone because people are talking about you behind your back and saying, oh, I had such a hard time. This person was here and visiting and was feeding me with all these lies, and I just nodded, and so the person will not feel anchored if they are not getting the truth. Okay, when you have the truth, you know what to deal with, you know what to work with. Yeah, it's a beautiful picture here, and I love how you made it. You say to the 3-year-old, the 6-year-old, the 8-year-old, but then when person are maybe 12, you can start saying that, well, that's beautiful, but maybe you could make the eyes a little bit with the pupil, there's a sparkle in the eye. Put that in place. So you just help the person develop instead of just, yes, it's beautiful, no criticism ever. But something healthy is happening here, where you're actually putting out a mirror for a person or other people are putting up a mirror for you and showing you what's what. And here we have a Queen of Wands. I'm a little bit wondering about all these queens, but I'm thinking that it's the divine feminine has becoming tired of like holding people that's acting stupid. Okay, so this divine feminine is a part of you as a male, like your feminine side, or it's your actual gender. It doesn't really matter. But if you have been carrying people before a lot, you will probably stop with doing that, and now you understand that you need to be bitchy sometimes. Okay, because you have a lot of experience. So because the Queen of Wands, she's like the kind of person that have lived on earth for millions of years. She's almost like a shaman, like a person that can walk through dimensions. So she has become a master of the energy on the earth and the dimension it's connected to. So it's a person that's very, very well educated. You can feel in the New Age community, people thinking that I came from Sirius, I came from Pleiades, I came from there, I'm so developed. But it's hard to beat this, because Queen of Wands is a person that has been living on this dimension, under these circumstances, working with this kind of energy, having a lot of wisdom. And when you are this person, you can't, keep your mouth shut about what you see that is wrong. When it comes beginners from Sirius and Pleiades and wherever, coming with their energy and thinking, oh, this is how we can do it. We can use this fertilizer thingy that I invented in my laboratory here, and this will be, so giddy. The Queen of Wands could have said straight away what this is going to lead to, because she has been here for a long time, like native people. She could have told you that this is not going to work in the long run. Don't use stupid solutions to problems. Usually hard work is what's getting you to solve your problems, not quick fixes for one generation. Okay. So there's some kind of wisdom you hold that needs to be shared instead of, being agreeable. You can't be agreeable anymore. And for some of you will be dealing with another sign, like a fire sign, maybe you're an earth sign or a water sign that's wanting you to step up your game, and they are not going to be agreeable anymore. So take it as it suits for you. Okay, so I'll read a star card for you. It's just small affirmation from the crystal tarot. Ruin, hope. We have ruin there, so I can read ruin as well. We read both ruin and hope. So she is the prison of fears and abuse. This is the Tower. She rules over the punishment of pride and the division of the mind. So it kind of sums up the essence of this reading. And hope. She is the beauty of the horizon and the everlasting. Her existence recalls how many roads must still be traveled. So this is just yet another experience. And since we have We have 14, 15, 16, 17. So I guess we read this card as well when the page is anyway up. So this is, see here, instinctiveness. He is the part of man which, no, sorry, transformation. She represents how much man accepts and receives. Healing is achieved through patience, perception, through calm. Okay, this is the solution for this, this mind that it's split. Okay, to be calm and collective and patient. Okay, and here's the devil, instinctiveness. He is the part of man which comes from matter, body, blood, instinct, anger, and passion without direction. So it's the shadow. It's whatever is not excavated or dealt with or hasn't been brought up to the light just yet. But here it is, kind of brutal to be had, but it's like someone is fed up with, you know, being taken for granted, like native people that know that you can't eat money, and that the rivers of the United States were all drinkable before the new civilization came, and now you can't drink the water because it's polluted. So these kind of people are getting tired of this. You in your relationship with the person that's taking you for granted and all the love you gave for granted, and you just say, oh, enough is enough. I will tell you the truth now. I have been babying you for quite some time, and now I see this is not the best way for you to develop, so I will give you an alternative. So, Oracle of the Angels for my dear Gemini. I feel this card. Believe in dreams. So I think that you have kind of given up. It's like, imagine that native people were living in harmony, and then one day there came these people just taking over, and they were so much stronger than you. So you just kind of gave up, and you just let them take everything, and you didn't believe you had a voice anymore. And I think this is the advice for those of you feeling like that. You may be encountering some obstacles and challenges which you feel are standing in the way between you and your dreams of love, of union, for example, or healthy nature, healthy wildlife, healthy earth. Don't be disheartened. Your efforts will soon be rewarded. Continue to do whatever you can to move towards achieving your dreams. Even the smallest step will make a big difference at this time. If you don't feel supported by those around you, draw on your own inner strength and do the believing for them. Acknowledge your value and fill your mind with positive thoughts about your future success. So, start communicating what is in your heart and how you want the world to be in the future. I remain confident and determined even in the face of challenges. I draw on my inner strength to help me keep focused on my dreams. I rejoice in the success that is coming to me. So, beautiful. Okay. So, I also will take a card from this. Notes from the universe on love and connection. For my dear Gemini, this is the one. There's a deeper reason for each of your questions. Seek it. Guidance, attention, help, maybe, love always, criticism never. The question was what to give others, is anything at all. Isn't it fun being you, the universe? So it kind of sums up what I have been saying, but criticism never. Yes, I think there needs to be criticism, but you need to give it with grace, okay? So guidance, attention, help, love, and a little bit of criticism. Not that kind of criticism that might be viewed here, like a person, the person saying to you that your clothes are all wrong, but the person that's helping the child develop their way of painting, that is good criticism, okay? Criticism might be a word that is kind of we see it as a bad word or a bad thing, but it's not. It's actually very helpful. I have been criticized during my time on earth that has been very enlightening, and I have been opening my eyes to things I didn't know before the person was saying this to me, that I kind of see you doing this. This is not helpful for me. And I'm just like, well, I didn't know. Wonderful. I will never do that thing again. So communication. And also I'm thinking here, you kind of need to be patient with people like a teacher. So when you start to tell them the truth, don't think that they will understand. Maybe it will take equally long time that it took for you to just give love and be supportive and carry this person. As long as it took for you to get this far with that, it might take you to get a little bit further with this new approach, where you start to tell people what you're actually seeing that they are doing. It's not nothing is quick fixes here. Often people have been working with the same issue for 10,000 lifetimes. So don't be patient, okay? Be a good teacher. Have a great attitude of love and understanding still, and just try to understand that people are on different levels of education in certain kind of fields. So if you think a person is stupid because they have like a viewpoint, enlighten them of your viewpoint and let them enlighten you of their viewpoint, and you will both be the wiser. Okay, so I hope this helped. I want you to take really good care. Happy holidays, happy new year, and welcome back to my February reading that I will perform mid-January. Okay, bye-bye.